So I want to share a story that involves authentic connection. Why? Out of the blue? No, because one of the things I share about is authentic connections. In fact, I'm doing a social experiment. It's a bit taking too long, but it's more than half completed, and I'm trying to see how this project can actually develop into something else. It can be a book, it can be something along the lines of research. So what happened was I fly for breakthrough quite often, and going to the airport is something very common for me. So it was, I think, a couple of months ago when I was going to, honestly, I can't remember which country. Then grabbing a meal before going on flight is very common because sometimes you might be hungry and we are not sure what time the meal will be served on flight. So we came to a place that serves coffee. I'll have to omit the name of the place because I do not want to get the person in trouble. So although it's an authentic connection story, I might get the person in trouble if I be too specific. So I went to get coffee and there was toast involved. And the funny thing is, during the whole time when I was waiting for the eggs and toast, um, I had conversation with the counter, the one taking my order, and also the one making the food and making the drinks. The time for it to churn out the food took some time because there were many steps and they served quite a number of items. Throughout the whole time, I was chit chatting with the guy who was toasting the bread and making the coffee, same person, and he was quite funny. Um, he was a typical, he was sharing, um, his behavior was very Hokkien, very dialect, and but I got his joke. He really cracks me up. At the same time, I gave him a lot of attention because I find that he was quite eloquent, and for a person who is eloquent, working behind the scenes, it was very interesting. And it's not that I judge, but it's based on what I know. That's why I guilty as charged. I label that this has been interesting. People working very repeated task jobs usually are not very great, don't really talk a lot, but this guy did. He, I asked something, he answered. I say something silly, he answered. And when he was toasting the bread, I actually said this out of innocence. I said, don't forget to choose the bigger piece for me. And I say it out of being cheeky, and at the same time, um, all the pieces of bread being toasted are the same. So saying this don't really mean anything. But lo and behold, when I sat down with the toast and I was sharing with my traveling partner, we opened and we realized, usually there's only uh, I mean you can call it set, two sets, but in there I got three sets in that bag, three sets of toast. One set is two slices of bread, butter, and spread. And it's interesting that I got three. Instead of standing up and asking him that he gave too much, I somewhat felt that he gave it to me because of the connection that we had. And of course, my thick skin requested for a bigger piece. To be honest, he did not need to do that. But because I think he appreciated my presence and he enjoyed the conversation, because do you realize many of the service providers that actually um, you meet every day when you're buying your drink, buying your food, supermarket, anytime, we treat them like service providers. I buy something, you serve me full stop, you leave the place. But I don't think it is such a bad thing that you acknowledge their presence and let them understand that you appreciate their service.